Shalom. I like to say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, for the true leaders of Israel today. And salutations to my Akim, who do this work in truth and sincerity, who are risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai. And the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as we are the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. This is your brother Akalia from the GMS Jamaica Kingston camp, and the mark of the beast is the mark chip, as it pertains to Revelation chapter 13, verse 16 to 17, Revelation chapter 19, verse 20, Revelation chapter 16, verse 2, Revelation chapter 14, verse 9 to 10. All right. And I want to play two videos. I want you to listen very closely to the videos. All right. Because I can't really expound too much on it. But for those of you that have the spirit of Yahweh Shemishai upon you, just listen closely and then put 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 together. Okay, this video right here, as we've said before several times, is the prelude. Okay, moving towards that digital all. Let's hit it.
And announce that by Friday the 15th of October, every single authorised worker that is on that authorised worker list, whether they be in Melbourne or in regional Victoria, will need to have had at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. That is, if they want to continue working.
If there's people that don't want this mandatory vaccine, how do we manage this?
Well, then they won't be going to work.
Okay.
It's very, very simple. It's very simple. We want to open the place up. You want to? I'm not taking lectures on freedom from people who will hold all of us back. Right? We want to be free. We're going to be free. We're going to be open. And the key to that is getting these vaccination numbers up and up and up.
Does that mean you don't have confidence in that 80% number anymore?
No, not at all. We just got to get as many people vaccinated as possible. And it's not about the ultimate number.
But will there be exemptions? I know you've just said there's a lot of...
No, there'll be detailed consultations, and I'm not looking to exempt anyone. I think I'm in the business of encouraging, and where necessary, through orders signed by the Chief Health Officer mandating people getting vaccinated where they pose a significant risk. There's too much at stake. You will need to be double vaxxed as an authorised worker. Even when after we get to 80% and the authorisations are no longer there, the mandate, the rule, the Chief Health Officer direction will stay in place, because cases will still be an issue then. But no, that's not the case. We're going to have a vaccinated economy, and we're going to lock some people out, because that is far better than locking everybody down. That's the decision that we've made, and I would appeal to people. These vaccines are safe and they work. So please.
All right. So this is the prelude, ushering in the system that is to come. Okay. Now listen to the next video very closely. All right.
Smart technology.
Remember that with this that thing that was previously discussed, you have certain things, all right, that are required to show to gain access to certain things, right? Listen closely.
That an increasing number of people in Sweden are using is chip implant under the skin, where you can store smart information. Let me show you. I have a chip implant sitting right here in my arm, and when I touch it with my phone, it unlocks my European COVID passport. You can even have a chip implant.
Let me rewind that one more time.
Sitting right here in my arm. Technology that an increasing number of people in Sweden are using is chip implant under the skin, where you can store smart information. Let me show you. I have a chip implant sitting right here in my arm, and when I touch it with my phone, it unlocks my European COVID passport. You can even have a chip implant that measures...
My what? One more time for the people in the back.
I have a chip implant sitting right here in my arm, and when I touch it with my phone, it unlocks my European COVID passport. You can even have a chip implant that measures your body temperature. I have one sitting right here myself.
And that same chip is used for other purposes. Actually,
when Elias Brodberger goes to work, he doesn't need ID. And he doesn't need money. In fact, much of what he needs to get through the day is hidden right there, just below the surface, in his hand.
Like to touch it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, weird. Yeah, it's like a grain of rice.
Yeah, a grain of rice.
Embedded in his hand is a microchip that serves as his keys, his ID, and his wallet.
Yeah, it's all on chip, so I use it like to get around the building.
Buy snacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's buy some snacks. So I can't open it.
No.
Okay.
So what I need to do is I need to first blip my chip, and it will log me in, and from there I get access to the fridge.
and you see all of those things right there is tied to it. We at the end, man. We at the end, and we're only waiting for the time of Revelation chapter 3 verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So that is when it is made mandatory worldwide. All right. Revelation 13 verse 16. Revelation 13 verse 17. You can read it. And I'm not going to read it for a reason, okay? Let me get my final precept and finish it off. Because the vision is speaking and it's clear to see, okay? We're in that time. This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So it's at the end of what? And let me get it for you. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him. Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And we're at the end of the rulership of the so-called white men, who are the Edomites, whose forefather is Esau. And at the end of their kingdom, they will usher in their mark of the beast. And it's clear to see what is happening right now. Eyes wide open. So that I like to say, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai Bashimaka Kodesh. Wa Abad Babal Shalom.